first graders, we are going to read another fiction story today. This one is called The Tortoise and the Hare, and I bet some of you know it. Now remember, fiction stories tell about things that did not really happen, and they often will have something in the story that you know for sure couldn't happen. Okay, so think about that while we're reading. Also, fiction stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, so think what happens at the beginning of the story, what happens in the middle, and what happens at the end. And finally, the fiction stories are going to have characters that the story is about. And in this case, we have the tortoise and the hare. As we are reading, I want you to think of a word that describes the tortoise and a word that describes the hare, and we'll write about it in our journals when we are done. Okay? So, let me get smaller here. Here's our picture. The Tortoise and the Hare. This is a fable by Aesop. This story has been around for a long time. A long time ago, there lived a tortoise and a hare. The tortoise was soft-spoken and shy, but the hare was loud and boastful. One day, the hare boasted to the other animals in the forest about how fast he could run. "No one here can run as fast as I can," he said. "I challenge anyone here to a race." The tortoise answered, "I will race you." All the animals were amazed, for they knew that the tortoise moved slowly. The hare, too, could hardly believe his ears. After he stopped laughing, he said, "But you are such a slowpoke. I can beat you without even trying." "We will see," said the tortoise, and the two decided to race the next morning. All the big and little animals of the forest were excited to watch the race. They all wanted the tortoise to win, but they didn't think he really had a chance against the hare. The second the race started, the hare leaped forward and started running. He was soon out of sight. The hare laughed. "I told you I was faster than you," the hare called back to the tortoise. But the tortoise just plodded on slowly and steadily. When the hare looked back, he could hardly see the tortoise. He felt so confident that he was going to win that he decided to take a little nap. After all, it was such a beautiful day, and the sun felt so nice and warm. So the hare stretched out and fell asleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise continued to walk slowly but surely along the road. In fact, he soon walked right past the sleeping hare. As the tortoise walked on, getting closer and closer to the finish line, all the forest animals cheered for him. Then, just as the tortoise was about to cross the line, the hare woke up. "This can't be happening," he shouted. "I am the fastest animal in the forest." The hare began to sprint toward the finish line, but it was too late for him to catch up. And so the tortoise slowly but surely won the race. What lesson can be learned from that story? Is it always best to go super fast? Or is it better to take your time and do it right? Slow and steady, the tortoise won the race. And slow and steady, you'll be able to win things too, as you practice and really work on always trying your best. Okay? Now be thinking, what can you use to describe the tortoise, to describe the hare, and we're going to write about it in our journals.